You know, we all like to believe that when a customer chooses our product, it's a simple, logical decision. It's because of the quality, right? The features, the price. We assume it's all a straightforward evaluation. But what if the most powerful forces shaping that decision are, well, completely invisible? What if the context, the way a choice is presented, actually matters more than the choice itself?
So let's just get right into it. For decades, the old economic theories were all built on this idea of a perfectly rational customer. But study after study is showing us that a lot of the time, that's just a fantasy. The truth is, our preferences are surprisingly easy to influence. They can be swayed by these subtle little changes in the environment that really have nothing to do with logic at all.
All right, the first secret to understanding this invisible influence is a concept called framing. And it's not about changing your product, not at all. It's about changing the window your customer looks through when they see it. Because how you present information can totally change how its value is perceived.
So what does framing really do? It sets a reference point. It gives our brains a kind of shortcut for making a judgment. You can take the exact same fact, but depending on the frame you build around it, you can lead people to completely different conclusions.
Take this classic study. It's a perfect example. Researchers took the exact same ground beef and presented it to two groups of people. One package was labeled 75% lean, the other 25% fat. What happened? Well, the 75% lean beef was rated as higher quality, less greasy, you name it. But here's the craziest part. That perception stuck even after they cooked and tasted it. The frame was literally more powerful than their own senses.
Let's look at a more extreme example. Imagine your job is to sell this mattress from the luxury Swedish brand Hastens. And this is the price tag, $400,000. That's a number that pretty much stops any conversation dead in its tracks.
Seriously, how on earth do you even begin to sell that? That initial sticker shock is just a massive wall to get over. If you lead with that total price, you're almost guaranteed to fail. You've got to change the frame.
And here's how they do it. It's brilliant, really. Instead of focusing on this huge one-time cost, you reframe the entire conversation around the value you get over time. You ask, hey, how much is a perfect night's sleep worth to you? You see, over its 25-year lifespan, the cost breaks down to about $45 a night. Now, it's still a premium, for sure, but the purchase is totally transformed. It goes from being this outrageous expense to a long-term investment in your own well-being. The number didn't change, but what it means, that changed completely.
So let's build on that. Our second secret goes beyond just framing one product. It's about how you can strategically influence a decision by designing the entire set of options a customer sees. This is the art of choice architecture.
One of the most powerful tools for a choice architect is something called the decoy effect. It's a little counterintuitive, but what you do is introduce an option that you don't actually expect anyone to buy. The only reason this decoy exists is to make another one of your options look way, way better in comparison.
The classic example here is Williams-Sonoma. They had this bread maker for $275, but it just wasn't selling. So what did they do? They introduced a new, slightly larger model right next to it for $412. Now, almost nobody bought the new, more expensive one. But that wasn't the point. Its mere presence on the shelf acted as a decoy, and it suddenly made the original $275 machine look like an absolute steal. Sales for that original model, they nearly doubled.
Think about this scenario. You're at the movies. You're offered a small popcorn for $3 or a large for $7. What do most people do? They pick the small one. That $7 price tag just feels like too big of a jump.
But now, watch what happens when we architect the choice. Let's add a medium-sized decoy for $6.50. Now the whole calculation in your head changes. All of a sudden, getting the large for just 50 cents more than the medium seems like an incredible deal. That medium option is the decoy. It's designed to be a bad value to make the large option irresistible. And just look at the results. Sales for the large size just shoot through the roof.
Now, closely related to this is our natural dislike of extremes. When we're not sure what to do, we tend to drift towards the middle ground. It feels like the safe, reasonable choice, right? The one that minimizes the chance we'll regret our decision later. This is called the compromise effect.
This was shown perfectly in a study on soft drink sizes. Just look at the chart. It doesn't matter what the actual ounces are. The most popular choice was always the one right in the middle. The 16-ounce was the big seller in the first set, but when it became the smallest option in the second set, suddenly the 21-ounce drink became the new favorite.
So the key takeaway here is that by defining what's small and what's large, you can pretty much steer customers exactly to the medium option you want them to buy.
Okay, our final secret moves beyond how you present your products and into the social environment itself. The behavior of other people, the crowd, has this huge, often unconscious influence on the choices we make.
This is what's known as social proof, and it's a mental shortcut that we all use all the time. When we're not sure how we're supposed to act, we look around at what other people are doing, and we just assume their actions are the right way to behave. It's a really powerful primal instinct.
But just how powerful is it? The Solomon-Asch experiments are just a stunning demonstration. In the experiment, a person was asked to do a simple vision test, just matching the length of a line. Easy stuff. But everyone else in the room was an actor, and they were all told to give the same, obviously wrong answer. The result? Faced with that unanimous social pressure, the real participant actually went along with the group's incorrect answer a shocking 1/3 of the time. They literally ignored the clear evidence of their own eyes.
And this isn't just some weird thing that happens in a lab. It's a practical tool used every single day. Social proof is why utility companies can get you to conserve energy just by showing you how your usage compares to your neighbors. It's why hotels get more people to reuse towels, not by talking about saving the planet, but by saying other guests in this room reuse them. And of course, in marketing, testimonials, user counts, 5-star reviews, they all do the same job. They signal that choosing this product is the safe, correct, socially validated thing to do.
So when you put this all together, it becomes incredibly clear that a customer's choice is never just this simple, isolated event. It's deeply influenced by the context you create around it. And these forces, they're always at play, whether you know about them or not.
The takeaways here are pretty direct. You have to frame the value of your offerings. You have to be the architect of the choices you present, and you have to leverage the power of the crowd to build that crucial trust and validate the decision to buy from you.
Look, at the end of the day, you can't avoid influencing choice. It's just an unavoidable part of doing business. The way you present information, the way you price your products, the social signals you show, you're already shaping how your customers decide. So the only real question is, are you doing it with intent? Are you doing it with a strategy?
Because when it comes down to it, you're not just selling a product, you are shaping the reality in which your customer makes their decision. So the question to leave you with is this: are you leaving that reality up to chance, or are you building it by design?